What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet. The brother who told you not to be so obsessed with these celebrity relationships, but you didn't do it. And now you're out here sounding just as crazy as a bed bug. And I'm black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. I can't believe I'm actually talking about this, folks. I really tried to avoid this story. And that is the story of the quote unquote breakup between Meg the Stallion and the NBA player Klay Thompson. I've been trying so hard to avoid this BS, but you guys have dragged me into this nonsense. And basically, you dragged me in by all the buffoonery I've seen on social media and abroad based on this particular story. It's ridiculous that this is what has captured the attention of so many people out there, especially so many black people and black females in particular. We got a war going on, several wars actually, that President Tangerine is waging right now. We have one of them that is so bad that it has fucked up not only the economy here in the US, it's messed up the economy globally. All right? To the point where prices are going through the roof right now. I can't tell you how much I've paid for gas. It's sickening. I don't even like to repeat it because as soon as I think about it, it makes me completely angry. And it makes me want to blow my top when I think about just the amount of money I've spent on gas within the last 2 weeks or so, right? And you got that going on, and then you got, through Trump, a lot of these Republican scumbags have decided that they're going to cut off a lot of actual beneficial funding to a lot of these states out here. So your children are right now going to have to do without the next couple of years when it comes to not just medical care, but just basic needs that they have in the school system. And they're going to put it all on the states to, try to, fund these things or whatever, right? But the states don't have that kind of money. If they did, they wouldn't be going to the federal government in the first place. So depending on what state you live in, you and your kids are going to be asked out over the next couple of years or so because of, the government has decided to gut a lot of this funding, and they want to take that money and give it to their rich buddies on Wall Street and give it to the Pentagon so that the Pentagon can go blow up more children in some other country, or so that Israel can go blow up some more children in their own country, right? So that's where your money is going right now. And you're sitting here worried about stankin' butt Meg the Shark and this Rudy Poop NBA basketball player, right? That's what you got people talking about right now. So you want to talk about that? Let's talk about it. And I'm going to be raw and uncut. You don't like what I say, get off my channel, okay? I'm going to keep it 100, keep it a buck with whatever I got to say about this. And I'm being honest from my own feelings and what I've seen of all the buffoonery of this particular story, okay? Point number one, off top, you all are way too obsessed with these damn celebrity relationships and the celebrity gossip. It has consumed your life to a ridiculous point. You heard all the things that I mentioned before about what's truly going on in the world right now and what's going on a local level in your own home states and your hometowns. And your dumbass is sitting here obsessed over what these stupid celebrities are doing. Okay? This is what celebrities do. They get into relationships, they roll around in the bed for a while, and then they break up. They go to a red carpet event or two, and then they break up. These are not serious relationships. These are not things that you should be obsessing over, and they are definitely not things that you should be basing your life off of. Meg Thee Stallion is not your avatar, but so many black women have taken her on as somehow the most emblematic version of what a black woman is. And that's sad and it's sick. So many black women have seen her as literally the epitome and the standard of black womanhood, and you put so much into her that now whatever happens to this clownish female, you guys get all butthurt and bent out of shape over it. It's ridiculous. And I said this way back when she had that whole incident with her little midget boyfriend, Tory Lanez, who allegedly shot her in the foot. Like I don't even believe that whole story, but let's just go along and pretend that story is exactly what happened as they say it happened, right? And that's why this man's locked up. I said back then that okay, she dated this knucklehead who raps about being a thug and being hardcore and abusing women, and then he shoots her. What is there to be surprised about? What is there to be, shocked about? You date somebody who's an asshole and who raps about this type of violence, and then you wind up being a victim of that type of violence, and you're sitting there shocked? Where's the shock come from, right? And the same can be said for anyone who will waste their time dating one of these NBA clowns. All the men in the NBA mostly are big buck dancing buffoons. A lot of them are just plantation bucks to begin with, and a lot of them have no type of intelligence other than to, play a sport, and a lot of them have no type of discipline or willpower outside of what they do on the basketball court. All right? For one thing, they got nothing but mounds of women throwing vagina at them 24/7. They got women, they got people who are not even women, transsexuals and other men, because a lot of the dudes in the NBA like to play around in each other's backsides on the down low, right? Or they get these women to peg them or whatever, right? And they got so many of these guys out here. They got just stacks and stacks of women waiting for them at the hotels, in the lobby, sneaking into their hotel rooms, just show up to their rooms with no drawers on and whatever, right? We all know this. So why would you not expect him to cheat on you? Why would you not expect an NBA star to not be faithful to one woman? Like what is wrong with you? Of course he's not faithful. What's the surprise? And once again, that's what these celebrities do. They date for a little while, then they break up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who cheated on who, really. That's just what happens. And the funny part is, a lot of these same women running their mouth online talking about how dirty he is and putting curses on Klay Thompson and wishing death on him and whatnot because he cheated on their avatar, Meg Thee Stallion. A lot of these same women, if they had a chance, would crack their ass open for Klay Thompson as well. They couldn't wait. If they had the opportunity to do so, they'd be bent over a couch somewhere waiting for him to inject himself into them, right? And, they wouldn't give a damn if he was with Meg, if he was Meg's husband or whatever. A lot of these same women talking all this mess they contribute to the same infidelity that they claim to not like or to not be a fan of, or what they claim to be upset about when they have all this fake ass outrage. A lot of these same women contribute to that same infidelity. So I don't want to hear that nonsense. That's hypocrisy. Point number 2, you being a fan of Meg Thee Stallion does not mean that everyone else has to give a damn whatever happens to her. I know, once again, you've made her the epitome and the standard bearer of what it means to be a black woman, right? You put that on her. We haven't, okay? There are people out here with sense, and not only just black men, but there are black women of a certain age group who barely even know who Meg Thee Stallion is. We don't care, right? She is not the standard bearer for what we think a black woman is. In my opinion, she's not even the standard for what black beauty is. There are black women who are way more beautiful than she is, who are her contemporaries, and several hundred black women who have come before her who are the epitome of true beauty more than Meg Thee Stallion. Okay? She is not the top. I know a lot of you girls think that. A lot of you young girls, especially a lot of young black girls, think she is just because you like her music. Okay? Like her music. I'm not saying you can't be a fan of Meg Thee Stallion. If that's the type of music you like, go ahead and listen to it. I don't judge people based on the types of music they listen to. Because I listen to some weird out, whacked out stuff. But I also don't put these celebrities on a pedestal. Just because I listen to someone's music does not mean I need to live my life by it. It's music. It's entertainment. This person is not someone for me to look up to or idolize. Okay? But like I said, so many of you have put so much extras on Meg Thee Stallion and made it seem like she is the epitome of black womanhood. And that's sick. That's twisted. And, you being a fan of hers, that does not make her a great person. That also does not mean that someone needs to marry her. Okay? That's up to whatever person decides to get into a relationship with her. Because they know the real her. They don't know the celebrity that you're a fan of. That's not even the same person. Right? But you guys get so obsessed with the celebrity and so tied into that, you have identified with it and you live vicariously through this celebrity. Just because you do that, now you're getting all mixed up in the head and thinking that if anyone says anything negative about Meg Thee Stallion, that they're saying something negative about you. You've made up this connection. You've made this person the avatar and the end-all be-all of what you are. You've made this person a symbol for your own life. No one else has done that. This has nothing to do with you, but you've made it that way because you've gotten so mixed up and attached to the celebrity. A celebrity, by the way, who doesn't even know who you are. A celebrity who could care less whatever happens to you. Okay? So that's the messed up part and the mental illness I see going on right now with a lot of these, especially a lot of young black women out here. And even some old ones too, which is even more ridiculous. If you're of a certain age, if you're in your 40s and you're talking about some black men hate black women because of what happened to Meg Thee Stallion or what they're saying about Meg Thee Stallion, you're sick in the head. There's something wrong with you. Okay? You should be in a completely different part of your life right now and thinking about, what you're going to do with your own life and your own children and your own household. You should not be out here obsessed with goddamn Meg Thee Stallion. I can understand this coming from teenage girls, but if you're in your damn 30s and 40s and you're worried about what happened with Meg Thee Stallion and this Rudy Poop basketball player, something is wrong with you and you need help immediately. Turn off the internet, that's the first thing. Turn off the TV, that's the next thing. Okay? And even when I personally look at Meg Thee Stallion, what she reminds me of is not even other black women. What she reminds me of is a lot of these starlets, like a lot of the so-called, Hollywood elites from back in the day, like Ava Gardner or Marilyn Monroe or any of the white girls that were popular during, the Playboy years of the 80s and 90s. People like, like Pamela Anderson or Anna Nicole Smith. All types of women that basically use sex as their calling card and as part of their persona in order to get ahead. A lot of these women live very sorry and very demeaned lives. They live very lonely and depressing lives. They jump from man to man, jump from penis to penis, and nothing ever works out for them. J-Lo is another one. J-Lo, the only difference between her is she would demand that you give her a ring. J-Lo has collected more rings and jewels than Thanos, right? But, she demands that you give her a ring if you want to get in her nasty draws. But, that's who Meg Thee Stallion reminds me of, is those types of women. Okay, this is not even so much of a black thing. It has to do with just a mentality where you decide, or these women decide that sex is going to be their persona, and then when everyone just wants to have fun with them and use them like a mattress and just jump up and down on top of them and not take them seriously, then we're all supposed to feel bad for them. Okay? This is the line you chose for yourself. You said that you were empowering yourself with your vagina. Deal with the consequences of it. Deal with that so-called power then, right? If you're so empowered by it, if this is what truly makes you happy, when everyone tried to tell you this is not the way to go, you said, I'm going to do this because I'm grown and this is how I'm going to get ahead. Now deal with the consequences of it, okay? deal with the reckless consequences of it. And Meg will be okay. She'll be fine. She's made, I guess, enough money to where she'll be fine. It's not like she's going sinking down into depression. She's probably moved on to the next penis, right? So what are you guys getting upset for? And Klay Thompson, he's moved on to the next vagina or the next male butthole or whatever, right? So what are you guys getting all twisted up for? And to some of you Negroes out there who are celebrating or making it seem like, you're happy that Klay Thompson or whatever got away from Meg Thee Stallion, that they broke up, you Negroes are sick too, okay? I can understand if you're having a rant like I am, but if you're someone out here who's celebrating their breakup and you're a man, you shouldn't even care about this type of stuff. A man shouldn't even care about celebrity gossip like this to begin with. I do this type of commentary and I've been dragged into it, but I could care less. I could care less. The only thing I'm talking about here is the BS I've seen and the reaction I've seen on social media. And that brings me to my next point. There are so many women out there, like now, when I criticize Meg and, her sexual exploits, the next excuse and the next, group of memes I've seen is, well, you're confusing Meg Thee Stallion, her stage persona, with, the real woman. And, the real woman, Meg, she has degrees. She went to a HBCU and all this other nonsense. And then you guys start getting into that nonsense, that degree crap. And I'm letting you know right now, you giving me your resume as far as your degree, no man cares about that. Okay? We're happy for you that you can, that you've have some accomplishments and that, you're doing things for yourself in that regard to better yourself. But that's not the end all be all of your life. Okay? There are plenty of people out there who aren't worth a damn who have degrees. Like you mentioned that she has a degree and she went to HBCU and she has some businesses. That's pretty much the entire Congressional Black Caucus, and all of them aren't worth a damn either. All right, when it comes to politics or whatever, what they're supposed to be doing, none of them are worth a damn when it comes to that. All right? There are prolific serial killers out there who have plenty of degrees, and none of them are worth a damn when it comes to being a human being. Your resume, your degrees do not automatically qualify you for a great relationship. That does not automatically mean that you should be locked down by a rich man, because that's the thing. I haven't heard anyone talk about Klay Thompson's personality or anything great about him other than he's a basketball player. And that's the only reason you thought that he was a good match for Meg Thee Stallion in the first place. And not his character, has nothing to do with his personality, has nothing to do with anything of substance, but other than, he's light-skinned, good-looking, he's tall, and he's a basketball player. All superficial nonsense. That does not make him special either, okay? Him dunking a basketball and him having money from dunking a basketball does not make him special, does not make him a high-value man, okay? Because that says nothing about his integrity. That says nothing about him as in his character as a man, okay? So you're wrapped up in the celebrity of it once again. And I've seen some of these dumb females. There's one from Great Britain talking about, no one knew who Klay Thompson was before he got with Meg Thee Stallion, and she gave him social clout, and she gave him social integrity, as if that shit matters at all. Once again, wrapped up in the celebrity. So Klay Thompson was not relevant to you. That's what you should say. That's how you should have worded it, was Klay Thompson was not relevant to me personally as someone who follows social media and is obsessed with Meg Thee Stallion, until he got with Meg and became her boyfriend. That's what you need. That's how you need to word it, because that's the reality of the situation. Because there are people who are in the sports world who know who this man is, and they don't give a damn about Meg Thee Stallion. They've never heard one of her songs, right? So the vice versa could be said about the other side of people who are fans of his and don't even know who the hell she is. She just looks like every other female who's trying to latch on to a basketball player and get his baby or get his kids, or have him spend money on her. No different than all the other groupies out there. right? So that's that type of crap, that obsession with this whole celebrity or social clout, whatever you think that means, that's BS too. Okay? Get rid of that nonsense in your head if that's how you're thinking. Life is not a big high school popularity contest. And a lot of you still live your lives like that, and it's sickening and it's disgusting. This is not how you should be living your life, okay? Concentrating on the head cheerleader or the head jock, because that's all this is you guys are obsessing over the prom king and the prom queen like it's damn high school again. Grow the hell up. Next point, to all you bum-ass, bitch-made Negroes out there who are also parroting a lot of this nonsense about, if you don't support Meg Thee Stallion, you must hate black women. I've seen a lot of Negroes out there doing that. You Negroes are really sick. And not only are you sick, you're evil. Because a lot of you know deep down in your heart that you don't even mean the shit that's coming out of your mouth right now. You're only saying it for your own social clout. Because you think that somehow that's going to gain you an audience or make you some money somewhere, right? And a lot of you Negroes, you got these useless ass social science degrees, right? And the best that you can do with that social science degree is write these dumbass articles about black celebrities and try to connect it to all black people in the entire black community. Like I saw some clown trying to connect what black men were saying about Meg Thee Stallion to slavery somehow, right? So that's all you dumb Negroes can do with those social science degrees is make a mountain out of a molehill, basically, right? And when that shit doesn't work, you guys try to dig even deeper and try to, demonize black men and uplift black women to try to get a paycheck for yourselves. I'm letting you Negroes know right now, whatever little money you get is not going to pay off that student loan, Negro. Okay? You wasted your time and money on that degree, and all the simping and BSing you're doing online right now is not going to help you pay off that student loan. It's not going to help you get into the stratosphere and be on some, I guess the best you can do is probably be on some stupid ass panel on some podcast somewhere where you spew more of your bullshit. Okay? But it's not going to help you in the long run. Because I've seen so many of these types of the black males and so these black females saying that, when you're out here, you're being misogynist and misogynoir and you're slut shaming Meg Thee Stallion. Okay, fine. Let's say that's what it is, right? Let's say that all the nonsense that or whatever black men are saying about Meg Thee Stallion in this situation, all of it is slut shaming, and we're not allowed to slut shame her. We're not allowed to say anything bad about her. We're not allowed to say anything bad about her musical persona or how she carries herself in her life, right? Let's say that. Let's just go with that and let that be the law of the land. Okay, fellas, if your woman is out here, if your black woman is out here talking about you can't slut shame Meg Thee Stallion or say she's not wife material because of her sexual exploits, go ahead and get yourself a poster of some black porn stars and put them all over your wall in your office or your bedroom somewhere, and dare your wife to say something about, well, you can't have that up here. And as soon as she says something about that, like you can't have these posters up, say you're slut shaming my girls here. Okay, you can't slut shame Cherokee the ass anymore. You can't slut shame Jada Fire anymore. Okay, if I want to have a poster, a pinky bent over a car or a bed or something like that, you can't slut shame her. Okay, I'm not going to allow that. All right, if I want to have a screensaver with Marie Love or Misty Stone or Heather Hunter spread eagle right across my desktop, you can't say nothing. Okay, because if you do say something, then that's slut shaming, right? Because you can't judge those women based on their sexual exploits or the fact that they're porn stars, that they were in magazines and movies, because that's not their real persona. Hey, these women have degrees too, right? A lot of those porn stars have degrees. They went to HBCUs, a lot of them. Hell, a lot of them even started out as regular actors first. Before they got into the porn industry, they tried to do actual movies, like real movies, right? So, They have an illustrious career. Some of them even have a little bit of a musical career. Some of them tried to rap, right? So you can't say nothing about that. And if I want to celebrate and epitomize and say that these are the epitome of black women, that, Cherokee the Ass and Beauty Dior and Sky Black, right? And Jada Fire, that they're all the epitomes of black womanhood, and I want to put their posters on my wall and watch their movies and whatnot, you can't say nothing, right? If we're going to play that type of game, we're going to do that type of nonsense with Meg Thee Stallion. Don't say nothing about the black porn stars either anymore, right? Don't get your face all balled up when I got Ebony A's and her big old black titties out on my desktop. All right, so that's what I'm saying. And you see how ridiculous that sounds? That's how you fools sound with your nonsense over Meg Thee Stallion. You sound just as ridiculous as I just sounded just now. And last but not least, my last point is I've seen so many black females out there try to make, the comparisons between other female celebrities or male celebrities that are in the same situation or worse than Meg, and say, like, because you people aren't attacking Ray J. Like they actually did this. They actually used Ray J as an example and said, well, Ray J has, all these women he slept with. He's made sex tapes. He has gang affiliations, and he has a whole bunch of kids he doesn't take care of, right? Then if you guys support Ray J, then you have to support Meg Thee Stallion, or if you don't, you're a misogynist. No black man that has any sense or who is straight has any respect or support for Ray J. Okay? Ray J has always been seen as a punk by most black men, at least most black men in my generation anyway. And even black men who are younger, they don't have any respect for Ray J. He's just Brandy's brother. Brandy's corny ass buck dancing brother. Okay? Who likes to say all types of very questionable homosexual things when he gets mad at somebody. Every time Ray J gets mad at somebody, he crashes out and says something extremely gay. He's always talking about sodomizing somebody, right? Right? So I don't see him as anyone to respect. No black man respects Ray J. So what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, as if black men accept Ray J and give him the high five. Ray J is a clown. Always has been, always will be. And even when it comes to some of these other females, like, like Kim Kardashian, who is nothing but an Armenian hoe, or if you talk about someone like Taylor Swift, who's nothing but a little skinny white hoe, her little olive oil looking self, right? No one cares about them. Black men don't celebrate them. They're just as ridiculous. As a matter of fact, white society makes fun of them too. So it's not just this, you make it sound there's this hyper focus on Meg Thee Stallion. Taylor Swift gets made fun of all the time for bouncing on different penises and whatnot. Just go look up a white message board with white men or white women on there. See, that's the thing, is a lot of you clowns, you don't really spend any time on these message boards with white people. You think that, the black social media is the only social media that exists out there. So if your dumbass doesn't see it on a black media page, do you think it doesn't happen, right? But white people clown Taylor Swift all the time, white girls especially. White girls clown her ass all the time, even the ones that are quote unquote fans of hers. They still talk bad about her. So what are you talking about? So stop using, that's once again, obsessed with these celebrities. Your obsession has ruined your brain. And it's caused your brain to just turn into complete mush. The solution, get off the internet. There's more to real life out there than what's going on social media. Stop obsessing over these celebrities. Turn your TV off for a month and free yourself. Go outside and do something productive with your life. Spend time with your kids, because your kids are going to need you more now that a lot of that funding is getting cut off. Your kids are going to need you to have to tutor them, to help them learn, to feed them, right? You can't depend on the government anymore. You're going to have to depend on yourself in order to help your kids get ahead, all right? Concentrate on them. Put your phone down and pay attention to your babies that want to play with you and see what they're talking about, see what's going on in their life, right? You don't need to spend so much goddamn time on social media. So that's all I wanted to say about this, folks. And you guys can let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. I would love to hear your opinions on this. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.